各位亲爱的网友朋友，大家好。
Hello everyone.
今天呢，我们聊一聊这个关于青年人的一些问题。
Today, let's discuss about the problem faced by the
我确实地
youth.
感受到啊，青年人的问题啊，好像更多。
I feel that the
因为
young
我觉得根
people
本的原
face
因
more
呢，就是
problems.
说，青年人他这个成长的速度哈，
I
从
think partly it's
幼儿
because of the
变成
growth
儿童
process,
少年
the
到青年
transitions from
接下来
a
整个
toddler
这一路
to
啊，
a
他们就是
young
过五关斩六将。
person and
从
eventually
现
to
在从这个幼儿
adolescence
园的幼
to
教开
an
始，
adult. So it
你看
starts
就
from in the
是
kindergarten.
比这样的一个
There's a lot of
学习学
comparison
生的这样
and
一
it's
个
very
环境。
competitive environment.
你
in
如果有
schools.
关系有钱，可以上一个
Some
好
they
的幼儿
compare
园，
against
上好的
because
学
of
校，
the
是吧？
background, the family
一路以
backgrounds.
来上到
Some
更好
parents who
的
are more
私立
wealthy,
的
they will send
小
their
学、
kids
中
to
学
better
到
schools,
不
better
名牌的大
kindergarten,
学。
better secondary schools,
那这样
primary
的话，
schools,
将来
or
为
even
了个什么呢？
universities.
护理这些为了
What's the
啥呀？
purpose? Why do they
为了
do
孩
that?
子以后能成龙
That's
成凤啊。
because
成龙
they
成
will
凤不知道，
become,
反正找个好工作。
they will be able
其
to
实就是这
find
样。
a good
如
job
果说运
when they
气好
grow
的话，
up.
还能干点
That's
事
if
业
they are
啊，多挣
lucky
些钱。
and they may be
一
able
般就
to
是这么想
start
的。但是
a
这个过
business
程
and
这就是
earn
一
more
个
money.
现实的环境。
But this
现
whole
实的社
process
会，
is a
应该
very
说目前
realistic
每个国家
environment.
都如此。
Actually, it doesn't matter where you're from. Every
但
country
是
face the same
我就是说这么
situations.
多的压力，
So
孩
as
子
I
们读
say,
书
there
是
are a
有
lot
压
of
力。
pressure. Do you think
有
children
压力
face
老大。
pressure?
不管你家长是
Yes.
干什么职业
It
的，
doesn't
对不对？
matter what type
比
of
如说你
career
家
your
长是
parents are
你
at.
是平民，
If
你
your
家长
parents
是
are
老
just a
板，
normal
有
working
钱的没
class
钱的，
or
但
your
是孩
parents
子
may
读
be
书这件事儿，
very
你爹妈
wealthy,
不能来代替啊。
but studying
你
is
最
not
多就是
something
多
that the
花点
parents
钱，
can
找个好
help.
的老师和
What
学
the
校。
parents can do
但
is
是
to find
这
a
个压
better
力
school
本
for
身
the
是孩子
for
自
the
己的，
child.
他自己
So
要
the child
学
faces
这
its
些
own
面对。
pressure, and the child must
又
learn
随着这个
how
年龄
to
的不
face
断
the
增长，
pressure.
对世界认识也越来越多，新的事儿就来了，是吧？怎么样和同学处理好关系？
There are actually more and more
啊，
issues as
你
they
像孩子
as
们
they
在
grow
学校哈，
as they grow
如
up.
果没几个小朋友作为
Social
朋友
interaction
的
is
话
also
哈，
one of
所
them.
以比较自己的朋友，
Imagine if your child has
你
not
们
many
觉得
friends in
或
school.
者现在也没感觉痛苦了哈，
Do you think it's going to be painful for them?
没有朋友啊。
就是孩子在学校
Well,
没有朋友
yes,
的
if
话，
the kids have no
他
friends in
觉得
school.
是被就是有一种
充满着
孤立。
恐怖的，
Yes, it is very scary,
困
Master.
惑和烦恼。
是的，
那为此我不去上学了，
对。
In fact, some kids may choose not
嗯。
to continue
那么还
studying.
有呢，就家长一番的努力哈，不管有钱的没钱的，都拼命给孩子为了这个读书哈，为了成绩，
For some parents, they try to encourage the kids by identifying good tutors for them, or they even spend a lot of money to buy organs or other musical
都
instruments
想方让孩子
like
说
piano.
能多学到一点东西。
And the whole purpose is so that the kids can acquire a new
就
skills.
该玩的时候不能玩，我就要按照家长规定的东西去
But
干
what's
这些事儿。
What it calls the kid is that
对不对？
the kids lose its freedom.
你将来
They follow a very structured schedule.
所以逼着孩子你不能玩，就得必须学。哎，你少
Many
一点儿
times
也
the,
不行
the child is being coerced into learning something that they don't really like to learn.
啊，拼个
So as you
年
can
数
see,
我
this
之后
is actually
好不
quite
容易
tough
读
on
一
that
个大
child.
学，是不是就应
After
该
working, they
有点儿
work very hard. They enter the university. Does it mean that there's no pressure at the university? No.
是
In the university, you have to work hard because it is very competitive.
哈，是不是更名牌的大学
I'm
对
just
学生
thinking,
的压力更
is it the more reputable universities gave this
不是
child
谁给
a
的
lot
但是就
more
是学生他自己
pressure?
感受到的压力
I
是
don't know
更
who
大
gave the
我觉
pressure,
得学
but
校
I
老师最
think
好惹的。
the child actually
周
gave
围的同
themselves
学嘛
more
就是
pressure.
同
In
同龄
fact,
人
it
之
was
间的
more
别
of a
人都很
peer
优秀
pressure.
对吧？
Because
自己
if
跟
your
不上的话
surroundings
那压力
are
很大
filled with
其实世界名牌的大
classmates
学哈，
that are very
进
smart,
去全是尖子生啊，
you will feel a lot of
一个
pressure
比
when
一个
you're in
出
that
名在华，
environment.
对不对？这小孩子每个人都像猪八戒
Imagine
似
you
的
go to the very high, very reputable universities.
高考状元才会
In
去
fact, like in China, it's only when you are the top scholars in the province that you can enter the top university in
有
China.
权利咱平时考试就是中等分数，对不对？咱想方设法塞到世界一流名牌大学，这个孩子就应该没什么压力了吧？
那就受罪了。
怎么受罪呢？
他就会当成别人的垫脚石吧。说得不
他的
好听
智力，他的以前学的那些
So if the
知识
parents are very rich,
对
they
吧
try to let the kids to go to top universities through other means. Is that good for the
那些
child?
优秀的孩子
No,
说起来
it's
都还
not. Because when the child who doesn't have the mental capacities enters such like good universities or good school, they will not be able to do well in class. They will face tremendous pressure.
对，
是吧？你们的考
They
试
will feel ashamed if they don't do well.
人家都是 A 加啊，
Imagine your peers are all getting like A plus grades, and your grade is like C plus or B, B, C, D type of grades. Will you feel ashamed of your grades?
分数的话，
Would that affect your confidence level?
啊，
C 大概60
那说不定
分，
F 啊，
对，F 就不够
To
了。
make it worse, some even get F.
因为你的考试
Why?
成绩
Because
你的基本功
you need to have some foundations, good foundations. And if you have no good foundations, enter such good universities,
可走到外，
your grades will show.
Why 就是一个问号了，Why？
外，
为什么呀？
对，
And you start to question why. Why am I in this school?
很大了。哎，过去在国内的时候，就是有一所大学我很熟悉。
In China, there's a university that I'm very familiar with. The vice principal said to me that many people from the mountainous areas, like the minorities, they actually recruit some minorities students. Say, for example, the normal average grade is 680, but because they have some special privilege, the minorities children can enter the school at the lower grades. So what happened then?
那这是想得开的，
哎
这心态不错
这。算性格好的。
是我上大学的时候哈，我那
Master, when I go to universities,
另外一个系的一个同学，他那一个班呢全都是保送生，
哦，
然后当时都是在全省全市那全都是佼佼者哈，不是第一就是第二的。结果这个期中考
so
试
there's
下来
someone in my universities, they have very good grades. So
保送生哈，数学天才。
one of them
结果
is very good
数
in
学竟然没
mathematics.
及格
And the
一门
first
数学
time,
课竟然没及格
the maths
他
didn't
就
do
受不了
well,
了
and he couldn't stand
生
it.
就跳楼自杀了。
And he actually
对
committed
这是
suicide.
我那一届大学发生的一个悲
Actually,
剧
there's something that happens to me during my first year in universities.
剩下的我觉得带来很好的启发。
But it gave all of us a good,
课业都很有压力呀，都是
some
互相
form of
竞争
good
的
educational
是吧？最好的那个终于死了
insight.
是吧？你们
我
就
们觉得哎，
没压力了。
我们没死就胜利了。
We felt that if you're still alive, we are successful. So for that student,
总做最好的。
he couldn't get out of his depression, and he committed suicide because his result wasn't great, although he was supposedly very good in his
压
mathematics.
力就更大。
Well, that was years ago.
所以这个心态
And in today's, I'm sure that the children or the students face even more pressure. And that's why I say that in the growth process, it is not easy for the children, for the students to go through the whole educational systems.
那真的现在就是这句话嘛，就是毕业等于失业。
But then now you look what happens when they graduate. It's very difficult to find a job.
招聘自己，
So you imagine you've been working so hard throughout your years.
设计根本不
Your
找人
and then when you graduate,
干啥呀？
you can't find a good job. So what do you do?
那个吹喇叭练得不怎么
You end up
朝不保夕呀，这
啊
doing some busking
要
on the
哪
street.
哪样都是业余的爱好，
对
就不能来弄来吃饭，是不是？
But that's not something that can provide a stable
原来以为高中
income.
毕业了，自己很荣耀，对不对？接下来就面临着失业的状态。
So many people, after they graduate,
如果3年找
they
不到工
face
作就
the
直接
problems
退休
of finding a job.
直接就
So
被
imagine that
闭着了。
after 3 years, you can't find a job after graduation.
啊，没几个人
You end up
有
like
2
early
年不回家
retirement.
家里天天研究天文地理，研究将来怎么把世界一分为3，是不是啊？这没有，就天天在家痛苦，要不就是打游戏。
So many of these people end up just playing computer games and stay at
就跟
home.
他同学那样，
Or some may end up
直接回炉了啊。
in the case of like Jason's friends
所以我说青年人，你看
who committed
找到工作
suicide.
这是个问题哈，还找到工作，好不容易找到工作，哎，我记得。
So for some,
讲的你的儿子哈，
some manage to find a
他
job.
毕业之后一见他同学，2年前的同学长得是水灵灵、水汪汪的，
对
现在一看又
I
秃头又掉发。
Remember,
还有甚至
Uli, you shared about your son's friends.
说为什么
After returning to Vancouver, after working for a few years,
给他给
he used to look really good, and then he started to lose his hair, and even got
哎，就是你看
a disease.
年轻
and become sick. And it's very young age. So why? Because of pressure at work. And after that, what's the next step? You have pressure about finding a good life partner. Well, these days people don't have a lot of good social skills. Many people just close their doors and they don't even interact with their neighbors. And they're pretty good at connect on the internet, but not on a face-to-face basis. So it becomes very difficult to find a life partner. A lot of time they are able to communicate very well on the internet because we live in this virtual world, and when eventually meet face to face, they find it difficult to talk to one another because a lot of time people put on a very false identity, and many people have several identities on the web. And even for myself, there are people who use my name. So we have reached this virtual state, and becomes very difficult to find a good life partner. Do you find that it's becoming increasingly difficult to find a life partner? In the past, people are less choosy, and they just get married, and then they kind of like just be in the relationship or be in the marriage for the whole lifetime, that lasts a lifetime. But now people they know too well, and because of that, they find it very difficult to find the right partner because they are too articulate, they are too smart, they know too much. Do you agree with me? Actually, masters, we share your opinion. When you know everything, you find it difficult because you become too choosy. You may choose the physical attributes, and you may not end up getting married because you are too clear, you're too clear, your mind is too clear. Also, people will want to look at the person's career and the income. So, Jason, what type of husband do you want your daughter to get? It's not for me to say because my daughter has her own opinion. But do you want your daughter to find a dentist? Yes. Of course. An experienced, a professional dentist. Yes. Say, for example, they already have a clinic. The dad has the clinic for 30 years, and the son is also a dentist. And this is a good career. And they have good career. For example, Uli, you have the second son. You want to look for a partner. You are the mom. What type of career you want for your second son? Well, I think the job needs to be stable. As long as the job is stable, we are good. So this is your second son. Maybe a teacher. Yeah, I like it. What about dancing? Probably not. Not so. Well, if the girl has no job, I will ask my son to consider. What about designer? This is a good job.
小儿子10几，
他受得了吗？那么重口味。
哎，这现在很多事儿就是明知山有虎，偏向虎山行，有很多年轻人都在练习嘛，是吧？
So these days, youngsters are just learning. So as you can see, marriage is also another problematic area.
对不对？现在我们说的都是原始中的原始，老土的老土。
Actually, modern days, they can dare to do anything. The youngsters dare to do anything. And that's why it's not easy to find a life partner. Sometimes it's very difficult to find a suitable or appropriate life partner. And if they become too choosy, they end up without someone. Sometimes when you see too clearly, it actually becomes detrimental. You find it hard to enter a marriage. Well, in my village in China, people usually the wedding usually held in darkness, and they wear a cloth to cover the face. So after wedding, the husband will get to see the wife, and that's when they realize whether the wife is beautiful or not. That's what I understand from my grandmother. Actually, my grandmother shares that when they get married, they don't really know each other. So it's like arranged marriage. Are they together? Yeah. They don't even know anything about divorce. They end up together for a lifetime. My grandmother shared that her mother, they have to wear a red cloth during the wedding day. And the grandmother's mom shared with the daughter that on the wedding day, she had a lot of apprehension. She said, I hope that I don't get a pimply faced guy. Otherwise, that will be troublesome. And on the wedding day, when she eventually got to see her husband, she was surprised that the husband has quite a fresh look, and she was extremely happy. Yeah, in olden days, there's no such thing as freedom to find your life partner. They are all arranged marriage. So many times, the couples didn't even see each other. Same for me, Master. My grandparents, they didn't see each other. Theirs was actually arranged marriage. But they lead a happy life. I think it got to do with their values, the life values. Actually, people who are still not married at 32, they will agree that the ancient method is better. Actually, now it is very common on the internet when you purchase. You just buy something without knowing the items. So basically, you pick something that it's a little bit like gambling. You just buy something without knowing everything. I think that's fine if you buy items, but if it's for husband and wife, you want to do that as gamble. Is it a gamble? It is like when you buy a jade. A lot of time you just buy a piece of jade stone. You don't really know whether the internally have a good jade light. Sometimes you may just buy a stone, and when you open up, when you get a craftsman who opens up the stone, it's nothing. That's just a normal stone. For some who spend $1,000 and the jade value inside is $1 million, the person will be rich. So it is gambling. So if you think about it, the wedding in the past is a form of gambling. So in modern days, it's the same. It is also a form of gambling. We know a Chinese actress. When
那个时候的中国人呢，家里连1万块钱都没有，那怎么能买得起这个？而且是经销这个的，是吧？哎，那这应该很有钱吧？结婚的时候，
So she married a very rich man, and this rich man has a Ferrari. The Ferrari is even limited editions. Later on, they found that the husband is a fake. He's not really that wealthy. It was a loan. So he has to pay a massive debt for that. So even now you have the freedom to fall in love. But everything is there's constant change. So even your mental state, even your wealth, it keeps changing. So your business may be doing well today, but tomorrow you may not do so well. It is very common, it's very possible. Say if you meet this person and you find that he treats you really well. So if there's another one who is just a scholar and he doesn't know how to please you, and you become very choosy. But you choose someone that will make you happy, sweet talk you. But the outcome may be completely different. So you must understand that things is ever changing. Say, for example, today, the person may be tall, may be wealthy, may be good looking, but is he still the same after 10 years? So from 1 year to 30 years of their life, they go through a lot of pain and pressure. The parents go through the same pain and tragedy as well. Because when the children face pressure, the parents will also go through it. Because when the child is in universities, he will face a lot of pressure, and he need to look for a good job, and he need to look for a life partner. These are three major problems.
只要任何一个年轻人有任何比方说身体的健康问题呀，学业问题呀，工作的选择呀，或者配偶的选择，那都不是他自己的，都联络着整个一家人，尤其
Actually, a lot of time the pressure is faced by one, it affects the entire family. So that's why if a child is facing a lot of pressure, then it will actually affect everyone in the family. Master, you are a great meditation master. Actually, we have several questions by our internet friends, Master, on this. Some of them are not so complete. Some of the questions are not complete. But Master, do you have some suggestions? Yes, I do have I have a Gmail account. That's 不想虚度 @gmail.com. If you have questions, you can send to me. Try to be more detailed because I will try to answer you. Because the more you share with me, I will have better understanding of you. Yes, share your background, share your problems, and also share the details of the problems. If you can even share the pictures so that I have a look at your face so that I can see how I can help you. You do not need to beautify your pictures. I just want to see your original look. So if you give me one that is like Photoshop style look, then I will not be able to tailor the answer based on your facial features. But to ensure your privacy, I may just change your name slightly. Because there are so many questions faced by the youth, we want to help you. It's because we receive a lot of letters from the youth. Well, when you have been through that and you look at the issue again, you may find that this is actually not difficult. This is a simple issue. But sometimes, because youngsters, they may find it difficult to accept the parents' advice, parental advice.
父母亲没有这样的高度，也很难帮到他们。
是，那当然还有很多年轻人，他也是还有一种问题就是健康问题。
Some youth also have health problems. Yes, Master. We have a mom that shares that the child wants the child, as a mother, that wants the children to have a healthy to be healthy. So there's this mom that shares about the child. The child has some health issue. And the mom, after knowing about meditations, feel that meditation can be helpful. And that's why I want to ask Master if child can do meditation. Is it useful for them? Yes. Meditation is suitable for all. The benefits of meditation is suitable for all. And it can help with the recovery. So you have to depend on the individual children. I have some sharings, some testimonial that maybe you can share with all. Hello, Master. I'm Li Shuping. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Singapore. In 2014, I have idiopathic intracranial hypertension. And as a result, I have this extreme pain. And the highest pain level is 10. And the doctor suggests that I try a more traditional method of treatment, and I could only rely on painkillers. And I need to take painkillers for 6 tablets of painkillers daily. But although I have these painkillers, I took these painkillers, I still feel the pain. Because of this hypertension, the intracranial hypertension, it actually led me to brief blindness in the eyes. It's average about 2 or 3 times a week. It lasts for 2 to 3 minutes. I couldn't see anything. I was only 16. I was very fearful. I was afraid that my life would be completely destroyed by this sickness. So in 2017, my mom had a chance to learn about meditation and encouraged me to participate in an 8.5 days fitness class. I learned the meditations of great illuminations and the meditations of purity. And during that period, the headache relieved a lot. So it reduced the pain level, reduced to 2/10. I was very happy because the pain is not so pressing anymore. So after the fitness class, I learned prostrations. So I practiced prostration for an hour for 2 months. After 2 months, I went for another test, and the intracranial pressure index is back to normal. The headache also disappears, and I no longer have this brief blindness. I do not need to rely on painkiller anymore. I just need for my routine checkup. So from 2017 to 2022, I have been practicing prostrations on the daily practice. So I do not need to see doctors again because my condition is being under control. I feel that I'm very lucky because I have the chance to learn the meditation methods taught by Grandmaster. And within 2 months, it actually helped me to be relieved from my medical condition that was there for 3 years. This is such a difficult condition, medical conditions. She's only so young and she need to go through the pain. This is the first time I heard of this disease. Maybe you can help to share with us this intracranial hypertension. So basically there's excessive pressure on there's this intracranial cerebrospinal fluids, so it can actually cause various side effects. Because if there is this excessive pressure on the intracranial, what will happen? So as a result, it causes dizziness, vomiting, tinnitus, eyes bleeding, and seizures. What is worse is that this may cause a lot of serious problems, or even a bursting of the blood capillaries in the brain. So this is she's very lucky because she stopped her medications. Because she used to experience this extreme pain. So it doesn't, when you look at the child, it has to undergo so much stress and pain. You don't even think about wanting her to get good grades in school. You just want her to gain her health. Because these intracranial hypertensions can actually cause pressure at the eyes. What happens if cause some burst in the blood capillaries? Actually, the doctors didn't have other methods. But luckily, after 3 years, when she had this disease, she managed to come for an 8.5 days health and fitness class. And her pain level reduced from 1010 to 210. So it's as good as 70 to 80% of the pain reduced. She also learned prostrations, and she has been consistent in her practice. And within 2 months, when she returned to the hospital for a checkup, the index is back to normal. That's a good result. We should clap to congratulate her. The family must be so thankful to Master. But this illness is not something that's common. 10 tau pain, what is it like? It is like extreme pain at the... Because the effect is actually quite scary, because she had this temporary blindness for a short period of time. Imagine that it becomes long period. What will happen to her? So that's why I have these questions for Master. I think for the parents who have questions about the child health, I think the parents will have solutions if the kids face some similar problems, because even such a difficult medical condition can be treated through meditations. You can try with others type of disease. Actually, the prostration is a very simple method, but the results is tremendous. It actually helps to the youth to gain wisdom. For those who have not learned this practice, learned these prostrations, they can actually go to our meditation centers to learn. An easier way is to go to YouTube to search for prostration by Grandmaster JinBodhi. These methods, although it looks very simple, but it is very, very suitable for all. It is very effective for a lot of disease and illness. I've done a lot of research before I propagate this method. It helps a lot with female-related or digestive system. Masters, you share that someone who has this liver cancer, she was able to recover through prostration. She practiced for 4 years, and it is actually the late stage of liver cancer, so there's no medical treatment. But 4 years later, when I see her, she looks really young. She doesn't look like a cancer patient. And you just feel that her whole body looks really good. You just feel that she is someone who is an accomplished meditator. I say, have you been to check? And she said, it doesn't matter. Because she knows that those who were with her, that the cancer patients, all died already, and she's the only surviving cancer patient. Master, not only that, it helps with curved spinal problems. And it also helps to improve your memory, gain wisdom, and make you become more beautiful. You may wonder, are there so many benefits? Yes, because if you have the opportunities, you want to give it a try. Like just now, the young lady from Singapore. Why does she keep practicing prostration? Because she has these medical conditions and there's no way out, no other medical treatment. And that's why she tried prostration. So her type of condition is actually quite acute. Let's have a prize for her, because it's a great sharing. 今天呢，送给他这样的小珠宝的哈，这都是真宝石哈，你看多漂亮啊！ This is so beautiful. 这些名字我都忘了，就好几种宝石。I don't even know what's the name. There are a few precious stones. So this is for Li Shuping. Wishing you health, longevity, and be happy every day. 好，We have some other questions. Because Masters, you share how meditations can help people to gain health.
然后我们网友就提问了，就是说还有很多年轻人在情绪上、心理上
And some of our internet friends share that a lot of people face emotional problems, have a lot of fear, and it's quite serious, and a lot of depression. Some even face depressions. Masters, can meditation help people with such conditions? Yes, these are just very minor problems. I think these are very simple. You come and learn any methods from Bodhi meditations, you will find that these are not problems. When I was young, I was full of fear and lacked confidence. But now, I'm full of confidence. Because you need to practice to build your confidence.
那当然是，
哎，所以还是要跟着师傅来练，来学习，
这样会正确一些哈。对，那咱们看看这个来自于韩国的哈，一位朋友哈。
I think in Korea we have a sharing.
这方面的有一些改变哈。
哦，好啊，好的，好的。
来了。
반갑습니다, 스승님. 저는 한국 서울 대림법당의 곽동규입니다.
Hello, Master. I'm from Korea, and when I retire from the army, I have panic disorder, and I find that my life is full of pain. At the beginning, I have difficulties breathing, and usually when I'm in the car or when I'm with people, a lot of people, I will have this fear, I will have this panic disorder. This condition persists even after I retire from the army. So my mom encouraged me to try meditation. But I don't believe in meditations, and I only believe in taking medication, so I choose to go for treatment, medical treatment. But every time when I have this panic disorder, I try to control it with medications. One day, when I was home and I just run out of medications, I do not know what to do. And I remember that my mom had sent me a link of a YouTube channel, and that's Master's Blessings. Although I have not seen it before, but at the moment I decided to give it a try. And I turn on and listen to Master's blessing music. And in my heart, I pray for Buddha and Bodhisattva and Masters to bless me, to help me with my panic disorder conditions. What's amazing is after 5 to 10 minutes later, the condition slowly improves. I get better. And usually when I take medications, I need 30 minutes before it takes the medication to take effect. And for this, I only need 5 to 10 minutes of listening to the music and you improve. So after that, I practice every day. And no other method is as effective as this. So I start to believe in this energy blessing. And I also start to learn meditation. First, I start with energy bagua. Of course, I stopped my meditation completely. Actually, after the first energy blessing, I stopped taking any further medication. So now I practice at least an hour of meditation. And the conditions have completely stopped. Thank you, Master. To thank Masters, I became a full-time volunteer. I've been doing this for 2 years, and I hope to help more people with my conditions to come. And they also have the chance to come to Bodhi Meditation to become a volunteer. Thank you, Buddha Bodhisattva. Thank you, Master. Thank you, my dad and my mom. This is a very good sharing. He is such a... So he joined the army and he had panic disorder after retiring from the army. I think in many countries, a lot of the young boys have to join the army. Korea is the same, Taiwan and Singapore. She shared that he felt like in a coffin, right? Yes. I think maybe he worked in the tank or in a very small space area where he worked.
对，
今天他有规矩的在那生活，还有规矩必须去做那件事情，有点压力。对，好像现在年轻人当过兵的犯这个。
容易。
Actually, is it true that a lot of panic disorder faced by youngsters, especially those who join the army? Yes, sometimes when they join, after they join the army, they had this panic disorder.
本来其实去当兵这个事情，就是对于男孩子来说也要有个适应过程的，因为原来大家都是生活在一个很优越的这种。
Actually, to join the army, it takes some to get used to, because these days the youth experience very good, pretty reasonable life. Many people are in the middle class. So when they join the army and they have to live in a very structured type of environment, you need to adjust because army is not. You need time to prepare mentally to join the army.
出了差错，都会引起各种生理性疾病和心理性疾病。我们不去猜测啊，他这个病是怎么来的，只是说，哎呀，当这种现象发生了以后的时候怎么办？这个我们也觉得是一种心理性的这种，疾病的感觉的话，真的也是你说也不能说吃。
You think that it is a type of mental type of illness, disease. But this is something that can be controlled. He needs medications, and he needs to take the medication and let it, and need 30 minutes before the medications can be effective. I think maybe this medication is some form of numbness to the nervous systems. It is not treating the source. So it is a little bit of, so the medication is more like numbing the nerves. But for him, he can only rely on medication to control his panic disorder. But luckily, he has his mom, and his mom shared with him Master's energy blessings music. Did he share which part he listens? He listens to 6 syllables mantra, the blessing video. That's why I shared that when he listens to this 6 syllables mantra, the energy blessing video, after 5 to 10 minutes, the conditions disappears. It's even better than the medicines. And is he free from the disease? Yes. He doesn't need to take medicines again after listening to that. And not only that, he make meditation as his daily habits.
这个太好了，对，就是有师父的这种吉祥能量的加持哈，我觉得对每个孩子来说是很重要。
I think it's very important to have Master's energy blessing. Like when the child go overseas or even go overseas to work, or they don't live together with the parents, you're worried about your child.
或者是跟朋友们在一起又是什么环境里？那有一些，其实我们也是收到很多家长来信说，哎呀，不知道孩子在怎么情况下，是不是中了邪了呀，还是中了什么了？就是一下子回来哈，特别是这种去一个陌生的地方。
We have a lot of parents that shares that when the child go overseas or go to a different environment, suddenly they undergo some psychological and emotional stress, and the behavior changed. Or they may have some disease. So that's why it's very important to have some Master's blessed items, or to have the chance to get connected and listen to Master's energy blessing types of music or watch some of the videos, so that they can get rid of this negative energy. So it is very important for the youth to have these energy blessings or auspicious energy surround them. And I think many young people, after watching this testimonial, it may let them understand that they can give it a try when they have some similar type of conditions. Because many youth knows that it's important to have some form of energy blessing.
住一个小酒店也是的，怪害怕的。他就是一个男孩子，他也会觉得有害怕的。然后他还跟我描述那个酒店里晚上有什么样的声音，又怎么地了。然后我说你别说了，你就打开手机播师傅的什么音乐，哎，让师傅的佛号声响起来，就是那样。然后他就会觉得，哎，那个晚上他终于能睡了。真的就是这样的。
Actually, the internet is actually very commonly used. So if you like, you can go to YouTube, Grandmaster's YouTube channel, and there are a lot of energy blessing music is readily available. All you need to do is to Google Grandmaster JinBodhi Energy Blessings. There are different types of healings and energy blessings musics available on YouTube.
他不是修大礼拜哈？对，我们的网友留言呢，我刚才看到呢，有个叫温蒂里的哈。
There's another one called Wendy. Wendy shared that who has asthmatic, and after and it's very effective. It's very effective for asthmatic conditions.
还有一位呢，他这个不太好拼这个名字哈。他说我大礼拜让我的风湿指数
Another shares that the rheumatism, the index reduced after practice and after practicing prostrations.
你看这个改变
很难呐，
很难逆转的。
风湿在检测的时候也有个指数，
它叫血沉吧。
Rheumatism is a very difficult condition to be treated,
你看这个有这么大的改变。
and the person experienced benefits after practicing prostrations.
师傅有个网友有个问题，就是前头这个詹正他问哈，说孩子
Master, there's another question.
不喜欢听父母的话。
The child didn't want to listen, adolescents didn't want to listen to Master. Can the parents help the child to practice? Well, I think ideally if you can practice yourself, it is better. But what parents can do is that they can do some merits on behalf of the child, and they can chant for the child. But for prostration, it's best that the child do it themselves. So it's best that the child learn to cultivate themselves to help in their own conditions.
对，其实还有一个这个鞍山的这个高网友，他说他儿子
Anshan, there's another sharing.
1年多了啊，每天都要吃药。
The child has the kids have some conditions and need to be on medications.
他儿子的这个病哈能够早日康复。
好。
我觉得也不光是师父的加持，还是像刚才。
I think it's not just Master's blessing. I think it's important that the one who have the health conditions to actually start cultivating the practice.
我和年轻人聊的时候，很多年轻人说这个，我觉得禅修应该都是些老人家的事情。
I talked to some youngsters. They share with me that, well, Masters, I think that meditation is suitable for older people. Well, actually, meditation is actually more effective for younger people because you need to gain wisdom, and even child. That doesn't matter your age. Once you start to practice, actually, when a lot of child when they enter schools, they will have a lot of conditions, health conditions, like attention deficit. And different like dyslexias or different type of health disease or health conditions. So actually, the children have multiple type of health problems.
孩子从一路读书的过程之中，所以你的孩子还比较偏聪明的，这个好一些。
If your child is smarter, it is better. But some, it is not because the child is not smart, but they have some weird behavioral problems and cause a lot of headaches to parents. So there are multiple types of problems.
过程中听到的最多最让家长头疼一个就是小朋友的多动症。这个动不动就说，哎呦，这个孩子多动症了，哎呦。
There are many childs that is very hyperactive. It is a very common problem.
就是也很正常，很。
Actually, it's quite common for the child who are very active. But I'm not sure why. But now a lot of diagnosis is actually a lot of hyperactive kids. There are many hyperactive kids. So if the child is too active, there's this labeling them as hyperactive conditions. But actually, you want the kids to be more active.
就是一个是多动症，就是我们常听到的孩子在青少年期间的，还有一个叫什么来着的？哎呀，对不起，不是，对不起，我记不起来，我刚才还想呢，现在真是人老了。
想起来就写下来。
对。
那我们我还是接着替网友来提问啊，师傅。
好。
对，其实正好刚才那个物理师姐也都基本上讲了这个，就是说我们在生活之中啊。
Actually, in our life, not just we want to have psychological and emotional good health or well-beings,
要考试了，可是没有准备好。
but sometimes the kids may have exams coming, and they have not prepared adequately, and when they lack the confidence.
达不到啊，这个时候。或者还有物理师姐刚才说的，比如说出差呀，到一个。
Or some says that, like what Wu Li Shijie shared, is that if they go overseas and they make some negative energy in the hotels or in the room that they lived in, is there a way to communicate with Master? And the Master, you can help them protect them to have a positive outcome. I think this is very practical. A lot of people have this. First, you need to have some belief. You need to have some fundamental belief. If I tell you that if you wear this and this will protect you, your friends must first believe that this blessed items is effective. If you believe in it, then it will be effective. If you don't believe, you may think, why do you want to? If you don't know, if the person don't know about Grandmaster JinBodhi, he may ask, why do I need to take photos of this person? How would this person protect me? Most of the time, people who seek me out is because they run into some problems and they need some help. But it doesn't mean that everyone want me to help, because some may not understand me. But I think people who join the live broadcast will know this. Actually, you can give it a try. Well, but you have seen that this few days, we have so many different supplementary remedies that we dish out for all. In the recent live broadcasts, have they been effective? Yes. Some shared that, Master, I have a headache. Is there any help? I say, it's just nothing but gas. Some may ask, is it effective? Well, some may not know that it's effective. There's one group who come to seek Master's help, and there's another group that come to Masters to thank Masters for helping them. It doesn't matter what, but during the nick of time, if you need some help, if you ask Master's help, if you ask for Master's help, Master will be compassionate to help all. We have another sharing, Masters. This is someone from Singapore as well. And it's a very interesting sharing. Hello, Master. I'm Chen Liang. I'm 20 years today. I'm from Singapore.
that's where Shifu came into my life. In Singapore, all boys at the age of 18 and above have to serve a mandatory 2 years of army. Just this year, February, I started to enlist into the army. My mom was worried and concerned that I couldn't eat well, sleep well, or drink well, and especially cope with the army regiment training. Out of worry, my mom went to Chanting and lighted several lamps for me, and also she told me to bring 3 Shifu Jixiangka to put underneath my pillow, in my bag, and in my locker. My mom told me whenever I face any difficulty or any challenges, she asked me to 请师父的加持，让我顺顺利利地完成我的 whatever is that I require. One of my most memorable and fond experience was during my pistol training. To pass this training, we have to score 8 out of 10 during our range. So we had 3 mock tests, which all I failed. I got 5 out of 10 for the first one, 2 out of 10 and 1 out of 10 for the next 2. I felt very anxious and worried. Before I went for the final round, I just said my final prayers, I guess you can say it, and then to 师父, please help me, 让我及格啊，呀啦，啵你啊，8.10咯，then miracle that's what I felt it was a miracle yeah. During these 5 months of my service to the army, I managed to pass all my exercise and my tests. I am very grateful for Shifu's blessings and protection. Shifu Hao. After my 2 years of national service with the army, I wish to pursue studies in aviation as well as to get a commercial pilot license. 希望师父能加持和引导我 that I will be a successful pilot in the future. 感恩师父。
是不是很可爱哈？这临时抱佛脚也管用，对不对？
So he tried last minute and it was effective.
真的是前面打了3次才8环，
对，越打越
Yeah, so during the shooting test, he failed all the 3 practice. And when he prayed for Master's blessing during the final test, he managed to score 8 upon 10, which was a pass grade.
哎呀，真是感恩
求对人了哈。
说我们有个网友，这个邓庆平，他说有一次他被困在电梯里，哎呀，也是很着急啊，心里想起师傅，心里。
We have another sharing that there's this Dharma sisters that was trapped in the lift, and he seek Master's blessings. And miraculously, she managed to get out.
还有见有那个学生求师傅说，哎，这个题就是不会 A B C D 到底选哪个？
And there's some students that ask for Master help and say A, B, C, D, which is the answer. And she gets some inspirations and she picked the correct answer.
对，然后都选都是对的，
就顺利过关。
是，
哎，这个挺有意思的，师傅，就像刚才咱们看到的这新加坡这个男孩子嘛，
对，
他不是也是一个反正射击不准啦。
So masters, we can see from just now the sharing.
包括他今后又想去做这种飞行师。
He wants to become a pilot, a commercial pilot.
应该选择一项什么样的修行
For him, people like him, which meditation method should he pick that will be more effective for him?
如果做飞行员的话
If he wants to become a pilot,
应该首先最重要的是一个有个健康的体质。
most importantly, he needs to be
那我
healthy.
觉得呢，他还是最好是走八卦。
And I think practice energy bagua will be beneficial to
走
him.
八卦的人呢，哈，我们
Because
多
people
锻
who
炼天之后
practice
很多
energy
就会
bagua,
哎，
for those who started energy bagua, they feel giddy after they turn
所以你那个对于什么
several
血
times.
压呀，
So
什么抗那种压力啊，包括脑压。刚才我讲到那个，刚才是个脑颅内压那个东西， 就是我们在这个天空的时候啊，还有飞机快速起降的时候啊，
Actually,
脑压。
as a pilot, you have to there'll be a lot of pressure.
我想着提前就开始做了这些。
So if you can practice energy bagua, you take some preventive steps. It will be very beneficial to you.
对，比如你在开飞机的时候，你那个定力特别重要。
And not only that, you will become very firm
帮助我们真的增强定力
and
不慌
steadfast.
乱临危不惧
Because
就是这样
energy bagua can ensure that you
所以像我们
maintain
健身操
that
之
state
中
of
会有
mind.
射箭的动作嘛，是吧？
In the aerobics, energy bagua, pre-energy bagua, the Arabic practice,
所以我
there
们
is this
在
archery
尤其是
exercise.
在国内的时候，他们有那种靶场哈，拿着手枪、长枪给我打的，哎，我们都没打过枪嘛，就去在那试着打，一打的就比较准。就是我们走八卦走的这个手特别稳，就是。
Actually, because we practice energy
对，所以
bagua,
的
our
话
hands
这
are
种
very
平衡
firm,
力啊，这种定力
and we
啊
have very good
还有当遇
balancing.
到重要事情的时候啊，
Most
作为一个
importantly,
这个开飞机的这
when
个
we face
飞行
important
员哈，
split-second
临危不
decisions,
乱，
you'll be
这是
very
最
firm,
要命、最重要
and
的
that's
事
most
情。
important. And if you're a
不能乱
pilot, can you
就是所有
imagine
乘
if
客
you
都
are in
乱
a
了，你也不能
crisis
乱。
in the air,
就像有个
you'll
引擎
be
从
able
天上
to
掉下来，
have
你也不能乱。
a
你得
calm
怎么样
mind
保持最
to
清静的
deal
状态，把飞机
with
把
the
这个客人
crisis.
安全
Because the
着陆。
pilot will have to make sure
这
that he
是
has a
不一
calm
样。
mind
所
to
以这个
handle the
心理素
crisis
质哈，
and
体
bring
现
the
在锻炼之
passengers
中，
back
我觉得还是
on land
除了
safely.
你要经历一些事情之外呢，那么在运动锻炼之中，我觉得像八卦加大礼拜比较好。
And that's why I think energy bagua and
它
prostrations
这样的
will
综
be
合的
two
这
very
种
effective
这种定
meditation
力啊，
methods
这
for
种素
him.
质啊，什么
It
综
will
合的
help
抗
to
压力
elevate
啊
his overall
清静心哈，哎，就一下就会提升起来了，啊，非常适合于做这种有
his
点儿
overall
在
well-beings,
关
and at
键
the
时候
same
有
time,
高危险动作。
and when he faces a
大力
crisis,
高压力的
你像
he'll
其
be
实
able to deal
要
with
在
it
这个
calmly.
临危不乱的人哈，其中还有一些行业，比如说你做警察，
People
做
who need this
法官，
calmness,
法官经常给人生气啊，有些
there are other
办案挺
career
狡猾
that
挺
need
气
this.
人的，他就把你给
Clarity
气
of
懵了，
mind.
你又不知道怎么判别他
Policeman is one of them,
啊。
judge is
那么还有
another
的话
one,
就像医生，
and
医生也
doctor
就是咱们
also.
韩国的牙医嘛，
对
Remember the
心稳
dentist from
手也
Korea?
要稳
He needs to have a very steady hands
抖了，
in order to
错了1公分
perform
就坏了，
天哪
拔错
a
一个
good
牙，
surgery.
是吧？扎错一个眼，
Imagine
这
that
是
his
天大的
hand was
医
not
学事故，
firm.
对不对？
It could lead to
对
some
那你这个
medical
定力怎么练呢？还分年龄哈。这个当然，这个小伙子提问这个问题，这个 Nicholas 提的这个问题，他比较
Problems
年轻，容易练出来，要心稳就是手
So
稳。
for him, for
心
this
不稳，
this
所以你
young
的
man,
四肢就是
he's very
颤抖
young,
慌
so
乱
he'll be able to
哎
practice
所以怎么样
and
做
to
到
have
说
a firm
大家都
hands
急的时
and
候，你反而静下来；等大家都不急的时候，你要着急。这个，而且还是我说的这个状态适合什么呢？管理人。
it is also good for
管理人。
people who are
当
involved
大家
in
都觉得哎呀
management.
我们安生睡觉吧，兄弟们，喝酒吃肉3天。但是你的最大的元帅是，我一定要有一支分队帮我一起警惕，警惕大家都在放松警惕的时候，敌人来偷袭我们。
You need to,
是吧？
especially
就
if
算
you are a
真的敌人
leader,
偷袭我还是指挥有方。
it doesn't matter when
你度量
everyone is
如果不管
relaxed,
他
you need
多
to
么能打
have
仗如果他没
a
有定
special
力，你
task
说哇
force that are
司
on the
马懿那小
alert
子那家伙猴精猴精
so
的
that you are
是吧
prepared
他
for
领
any
40万大军来，我才10万
ad
人，
hoc
肯定
or
干不过，
invasions
一
that
听就吓坏了
aren't.
啊，就慌了。不管你多聪明，不管你的计划
It doesn't
多
matter
么的
whether
周
you are
全
very smart
你
or
一
you
慌
have
了
very
一
good
定是
plannings, and when
就是
something
按
like
着
a
错
sudden invasion
啊，
happens,
还有呢，
you will not
你
be able
给
to
你下
react.
面的这些
And if you cannot react,
下
if
下
you
层
do
的这
not
些
have
将
this
领
calmness to
传
react,
达的一种心理的讯息
if
就是
you are a
乱
leader and you
坏
have
了
fear,
我们要失败
what will happen
对
to
吧？哎
your
要能
fellow
够
workers?
能够就是说这个刀子架在脖子上，你还能够临危不乱
You want to have this
清静
calmness
自如
even if there is
啊，就达到这样的境
a
界的
sword
人
or a knife
才能够承
that
担
placed
大
next
事
to
业
you at your
才
neck.
能成为一个真正机构的大老板。
It is when you
将来
have
才能
this
成为一个
calmness and when you have this
大的企
steadiness,
业
then
或
you will
者
be
成为
able
省长、市
to
长、
be
总统级的有承担
a
能力
great
的人。
leader. because you can shoulder extreme pressure. So the important role is not something that any person, any commoner can take. No, it's not. You must be able to withstand extreme pressure. So if you look at a lot of those political leaders, they need to have this great ability to handle pressure, extreme pressure. So what are good practice? You can start with energy bagua and chanting. These are good methods. You don't have the ability, so you seek the divine help. For me, I cannot say that I am always calm throughout. No, but I actually don't have a lot of time that I actually fearful. No, most of the time, I'm able to maintain my calmness. As I become older, I continue my cultivation. I see that a lot of people are always so worried and full of fear. And then when I look at them, I say, why? This is a very simple problem. Why do you need such a major reaction? It can be solved easily. It is not because I'm smart, but because I have this clarity of mind. I don't have fear. When everybody felt fearful or felt pressure, but for me, I treat it with ease. As long as you're still alive, there's always a chance. So as long as you're alive, you can deal with anything and everything. So because of this mindset, when I share this with some of the youngsters, they are influenced by me. So imagine that if you're in your 20s and 30s, you have such solitude. When everyone are relaxed, you want to have this alertness. And when everyone is very tense, you must be able to have this clarity of mind. I think meditation will be useful for all. And that's why the class from Singapore, for you to become a good pilot, it is very easy. I have the confidence that if I go for it, I'll be able to get the license to be a pilot. So for you, you're good looking, you are young, I'm sure you are able to achieve that.
他说2年。
2年哈，我以为是半年。2年哈。
2年也不长。挺好的哈，感恩师父。
好，那刚才呢，我们这个韩国的小朋友前面的郭东奎哈。
对。
So just now the
真是我们
the 郭东奎 from Korea.
对。
有礼物哈，郭东奎。来送一件我设计的这个 T 恤衫哈。
I have a present for you, and that's the T-shirt that I designed. You look better when you wear the T-shirt that I designed. Hope that you can have clarity of mind, and you get health and happiness. And from Singapore, Nicholas from Singapore, Chen Liang. We also have a T-shirt for him. This is a lotus flower with Heart Sutra, wishing Nicholas health and longevity, and may your dream come true. Thank you, Master.
好，那就又替这个学生网友提问了啊。这个学生啊，哎呀，一天到晚这个功课做不完，考试考不完，家长也有。
We have further questions from students.
对，所以这个学生的压力挺大的，尤其他自己又很上进的这样的学生。
Especially for students who are very good in their studies, they want to do even better in their studies. So, Master, is there a way to help them to release their pressure? Actually, when you practice any meditation method, it is very easy. Because the higher level is you want to gain the wisdom as like a Buddha. It is not just the usual compassion, it's just not the usual kindness. It is to attain eliminations of the body and the mind. So to be able to complete some homework or do some exams, this is just very simple. If you practice the meditations of greater illuminations, it helps a lot in terms of health recovery. It is actually better than energy bagua. For a true Buddhist, if you are Buddhist, true Buddhist, please practice the meditations of greater illuminations. This method is the fastest and the most stable method to gain your health. And it is very good for you to gain your wisdom. And it's very easy. But what is very simple for the kids to learn is actually prostrations. There are two types of prostrations. One is half prostration, one is full prostrations. The full prostrations is you stretch all the way out. But for the half prostration is you kneel down and you prostrate. But for it to be effective, you need to practice 10 minutes on the daily basis. And it is very effective. So in Taiwan Jiayi, there's someone that shares. Tilang shares that practice 10 minutes of half prostration on the daily basis, and the results becomes much better. Hello Masters, hello everyone. I'm from Taiwan Jiayi Tilang. I am 15. In the past, because I always easily feel stressed and anxious, and when studying, and the mind shrinks like a ball and I'm able to think. So when I'm preparing for the middle school exams in the 3rd years of junior high school, the pressure is too high, and have various physical problems occurs. I tried very hard, but my result is just I have no breakthrough. And during that time, I start to experience various physical problems, and I go through a lot of emotional roller coaster. I do know that this problems is not good, but I do not know how to relieve them. So I took the courage and write to Masters. And Master actually guided me. Because in the past, I used to put my cell phone before I study. So every time I get easily distracted because of the cell phone, I couldn't focus on my studies. And Masters also shared that I need to practice 10 minutes of half prostration and do it for 108 days. And I followed that, and every time I chant for an hour. And after I chant for an hour, I feel more at ease. Not only that, I felt relaxed and quick-witted, and I become more focused in my studies. And my results became much better. And I managed to be admitted to the coveted high school and into their very special classes. But because of my practice, I do not feel the pressure when I move to the higher levels. I feel more confident and was able to join and participate in other competitions. So actually, after that, I realized that I grew a lot. I became more confident, and I even won the 1st place in the school speech competitions. Thank you, Masters, for your special techniques.
好可爱的小妹妹啊，哈！可以看她讲话哦，那么的自信哦。
You look at her, she's full of
也
confidence.
是啊，受益于小礼拜，她也喜欢念佛这样的一种修行方法。她就是觉得很快的帮她疏解了这个学业上的这些压力，
对
让她智慧打开。
对，
嗯，
他是锦上添花，本来已经学习成绩很好，方方面面挺优秀的。
Actually, she's actually very good in her studies.
都能
So
够实现她自己学
It
业
just
上
helped
的
her
这
to
些理
release the
想
stress
特别的
and so that she can think better
对
and get even better results.
不但考到了她最心爱的这个高中，她而且高中里还报了一个什么特色班，让她很自信满满的。嗯，
对，
那他做的就是小礼拜啊，
小礼拜
So she only
对
practiced
先给他对
half
个话
prostration.
是，就
对
师傅亲自教给他指
I
导
think
他，
masters you have taught her personally,
他就听话照做，然后
and she
看着
followed
效果
master's
做出来
advice, and she became very effective.
等于差不多全班或全校最优秀的孩
全校
子。
第一名嘛。
哦
对，
Yeah, and she won the first
考到了
place
这样的
in
高
the
中
school
对
speech
是我
competitions.
所求的，但是他成绩确实不错。
是。
对，
我记得哈，有一次在青年营上面，也是一个台湾的小姑娘，我忘记她的名字叫什么，她就是想考那个医学系嘛。这个
I
很有
remember
挑
there's a
战
Taiwanese
那师傅也是
students
说你可以开始每天要在佛前做多少个小礼
and
拜
she wanted to
有人
get
36个呢
into
还是 108个我不
me-
太记得
medicine.
也是
And I remember masters also
加油
tell her to do
要做小
prostrations
礼拜的方式
and prostrate on the daily basis to get to med school.
这个效果好啊。
This
但
is
是
a
我
very
呢我
effective
这
way.
边还带来一个见证哈。
Masters,
他
I
呀
have
你看
another
刚才提
sharing.
朗他是好上加好啊。我带
Tilang
正是
is
这
a
个
good
成绩
student
不好
and the
发
reasons
愁啊
becomes better.
可
I
是也
have
是听
another
到师傅
sharing
的指导之后哈
and
一下
there are
子变得
some
成绩特
who
别
are
优异了。
whose
我们
results
来
are
听一
not
听
so
好不
good,
好
but as a result of their practice, their results improved.
Halo semuanya, saya adalah Jovan Dinalta, umur 22 tahun.
I'm
dari
22
Bodhi
years old.
Meditation
I'm
Jakarta.
Jovan from
Sebelum
Indonesia.
Bodhi Meditation, dapat
Before I
dikatakan
learned
saya adalah
meditations,
orang yang
I
tidak
do
sabar
not
dan
have,
saya tidak stabil.
my emotional
Saya
is
juga
not very
kesulitan dalam
stable. I
fokus,
couldn't
terlebih
focus,
saat
especially
pelajaran
in
sekolah.
my studies.
Saat mengerjakan tugas
So
atau
when I
keuangan,
do my
saya selalu
studies,
mengalami
I
kesulitan
always face a
karena
lot of
ketidakfokusan
problems
saya terhadap
because I couldn't
keuangan
focus in my
tugas
studies.
tersebut. Dan semester
And the first
awal
semester
yang
during my
muncul
university
IPK-nya
years, my GPA is 2.8.
8, yang dimana
I receive a lot of C grades for my
Namun,
studies.
karena setiap kali saya
But every time when I
melakukan
see my mom
praktek
practice at
meditasi
home,
di rumah, saya pun jadi berpikir,
I start to be interested in meditations.
suatu ketika mama
Once my
mengajak
mom's
aku melakukan
encouraged me to do
IPK
prostrations.
selama 100 hari.
Do it for 100
Setelahnya,
days, every day 60 minutes.
membuat aku
That
sangat,
made me very confused.
wah, dalam pikiran aku,
I think,
ini berat
well, this is
gimana?
really tough. It's
Menurut
very
saya,
challenging.
sejak IPK ini membuat
But
saya
once I
menjadi
started to do
energi,
prostration, my body is full of vitalities and energy. I become stronger. I do not feel tired easily. 100 days pass, my focus becomes better. I am better at doing my time management.
meditasi tetap menjadi rutinitasku.
Meditation has become my daily
Bangun
practice.
jam 5 pagi,
Every day I wake up at 5 in the morning.
berat dan ngantuk.
And although I feel very tired, but I will just want to practice, continue by practice because I have a wish. And through my diligent practice of prostrations, I got a good result during my year-end exams.
Tidak pernah melihat
I do not receive C anymore.
rasanya telah aku buang jauh.
I no longer my C's. My overall GPA has improved to 3.7.
Taripai, meditasi, dan juga kerja kerasku dalam belajar.
Because of prostrations, I receive good results.
Dari apa yang telah saya
Through my
lalui,
own experience, I believe that meditations can give you a result, unexpected good results.
untuk teman-teman
So
dan
friends out
anak-anak
there,
muda di luar sana, mulailah dari sekarang
do
untuk
come
belajar
and learn
meditasi.
the practice.
Mungkin awalnya membuat
In the
bosan
beginning,
dan
you may feel it's very boring, but eventually, you'll be able to experience the happiness that meditation gives you.
merasa senang dan
I feel very happy and I feel very lucky because I know Grandmaster JinBodhi. I want to sincerely say thank you, Grandmaster JinBodhi.
kepada Grandmaster JinBodhi.
这个好开心啊！
真的很
对
爽，很
He's full of happiness. This young man is full of
真是个
happiness.
聪明的孩子。
He's a very
不知道为
smart
啥他
guy.
考试成绩那么差。
I'm not sure why he did so
师傅刚才
badly
讲
for
的
his
C 是什么
exams.
差不多他那个2.8最开始的时候，他如果那个 GPA
His
2.8
GPA is
差不多
only
就整天都是
2.8.
C 了，就是
2.8 is an average C
分
grades.
数很低就是。
So it's a very low grades
确实有点
GPA.
不好意思，这个分数啊。
是，
对
就我是觉得哈，我早就也观察到这一点，就是所有的年轻人哈，就是都有一个叫做开窍的时间。
I realize that a lot of youngsters have this moment of they becomes like inspirations.
开始开窍了。
我好像现在也没开吧，就
啊
跟老核桃似
开
的，
了。
那就收到啊。
开了窍了之后，自己不觉得哈。
When you have this, when you gain wisdom,
到
you
年龄稍
cannot
微长一点，就52岁啊。
when you are
对
52,
但是你开窍稍微早一点，那你的自律能力就会强。
you will be more
还有
disciplined.
一个窍呢，就是学习的窍，
智力就
那
And
就是这开智力的窍门。
when you have this
智力
wisdom,
通达了，哎
when you
这就要
clear
开窍了。
嗯，
所以这个孩子
your
呢
wisdom,
在这样他做这个修行的时候
so
啊，
for him,
做礼拜
through
啊
prostrations,
修行的时候，就是好像他那个智慧的窍就打开了，
suddenly he gained his
他
wisdom.
变成一切都变了个人，
Suddenly he
然后
becomes
他
a
的
completely
自律
different
自我
person.
管理能力一下就强了。
He becomes very good
你看
at
所以他的
self-managing.
分数呢，已
And
经
it can
非
it
常
shows
优
on
秀
his
了
results. So from a 2.8
轻松
GPA,
地上大学
没
he
错
becomes
对，
a
但是以之
3.7.
前那个成绩来说的话，好像有点困难了。
对，那个
对呀
真的不好意思。
对，
所以这个孩子他有一点很好的可取之处，我们大家可以借鉴的啊，就是他做大礼拜哈，还是很有坚持性的。
But what we can learn from him is that he's very persistent.
做1个小时，
He wake up
而
at
且还至少
5
坚持了
to
100
practice
天
for
至少做
1
800
hour,
日筑基
and he
啊
practiced for 100 days.
他这个做大礼拜这样的修行也做到了100日筑基，所以就有这样的效果。
And that's why it's effective because he continued his
1
practice
小时，
你
for
看我不
100
敢说
days.
1个小时，我觉得他妈妈特别会管孩子。
I think the
6
mom
个
is
小时
very
他做
good,
1个小时，
can
但
get
是
the
呢他也
child
赚到了呀。
to do an hour a
那
day.
妈多高兴啊，对吧？
The mom is so happy.
是
所以给这样2个小朋友，一个是本身就是很优秀的提朗，还有一个是
So for
能够
Tilang
就是
and
自己
Jufand,
通过做修行
through their own
改善了这
practice,
个来自于
they
一年
get
之
re-
饭
from a
使我
good
们
results to get
小
even better
雨
results
把
from someone who
这
get
2个
lousy
年轻人
results
哈
to good results, a prize for them.
现在提朗哈，提朗小女生，哎，
Tilang is the
这个
girl,
提朗这个吧，觉真，这
so
是什么
that's for
石头
you. What is
绿
this?
松石吧，
绿松
对我
石，
最喜欢
Turquoise, that's
小
turquoise.
女孩啊，
送给提朗。
带上这个就
小世界
通灵了哈。
哎呀，收
哎
到的
对呀，哎，不光是读书好，还能接收外星人的讯息。
You even can receive
这给提
the
朗
energy from the outer
更
space.
厉害了。周饭呢？
粥饭，
Jofan,
粥饭给他一个酷酷的啊 T
I get
恤衫
something really cool, a t-shirt.
你还记得这
金银树？
哎
Remember
对
this？
金银树哈
你，看，
这个粥饭穿上去非常帅了。
Jofan, when you wear this, you will look really handsome.
哎呀，这别太多哈。
还是让他有点定力吧。
师傅，我们在分享的时候，这网友也都在留言哈。
We have a lot of
他们
sharings
也是
while we
大
share
礼
the
拜的受益
testimonials.
也跟师傅也跟网友
Many
们
shares
分享
their
一下
benefits from
这位网友
prostrations.
他说：“师傅，我之前呢，这个脖子后面有个大包，
One
也叫
shares
富贵
that
包哈。其实富贵啥呀？自己受罪。做大礼拜以后呢，也
After
消失了
practicing,
感
I
恩师
have
傅
this
传
bump
授了
at the
大
back
礼
of
拜
my neck, and the bump disappears.
好，还有
Thank
一位
Masters
网友
for
FF，他
teaching
说
us
禅修可以
with
缓解压力
prostration.
我读大学的时候
As
也
I've
是
shared
压力
that
巨大
I have a lot of
接触了
pressure
大
during
光明和清净
universities,
观想法
and
读书
after
考
I
试
have the
都轻
chance to
松了
practice the
所以禅
meditations
修
of
一直
great
陪伴我大
illumination
学直到
and
现在
meditation of
感恩师
purity,
父
my stress level reduces.
还有这个 Happy 哈，他说：“师傅好，我通过大礼拜呢减了10公斤，主要是减去
And
了我
Happy
贪
shares
吃的
that
念头
prostrations had
在
helped to
正常
reduce the
饮食
weight,
状况下
and
每
she
天
now
大礼拜
maintained a
大
very
约8
healthy
个月呢
diet.
让我减了10公斤，身体健康，心
And
情轻
the
松
weight
十
reduced
分
by
十分
10
感恩师
kg
父
after a couple of months.
真好。”
That's great news.
哦，还有一位念浩网友说， 我这个也是有最好的见证哈，我自己有10几年的鼻炎和偏头痛，每天坚持半个小时或1个小时。
Another sharing is that after 3 years of persistent practice, the nose-related disease disappears. And I just want to thank my masters. Jin Yifan also shared that she reduced weight after practicing it. Rui Cha shares that if I have pimples, what is the best meditation practice?
之前我推出的有一个
疏肝的那个哈，
对，我觉得像那个什么沙拉，菩提
那个奶菩提
那个奶
对，
不是那个奶昔
The lassi,
瘦身奶昔
the Bodhi lassi may be good for you.
就是甘那个不是叫什么羽衣甘蓝的
羽衣甘蓝那个
Kale with blueberries,
那个就是特别
sweet potatoes,
对于长痘
yogurt
哎
plus water.
长痘的都一般
That's very good.
还有的话吃那个垂盆草
And also the other one is
到哪一天的话，我给你们给这些女士们爱美的哈，哪一天爱美的人，我弄一个爱美的偏方。
I think I must think of a way, a special way for those who like to be beautiful.
就越喝越美丽哈。
And you will drink and you become more beautiful.
对，因为每个人症状不一样。
So the other one is Saddam. Cementosum is also good to eat to look good.
师父让我们母女俩的感情越来越好。但是实话说，遇到提朗的功课难题，我是无法为他解决的。
Tilang mom shares that. Thank you, masters.
这的是家长都是怎么想，都是这么感受的啊！感恩有师父，遵循着师父的开导指示，让他
Because of masters, my daughter is able to start to become confident.
感恩师父，开心吧？哈，我们听着也非常的高兴。
孩子得到了非常好的改变。
Yes, because the child changed positively, so the one that's happiest will be the parents.
好，然后我们前面哈是2个大一点的朋友，他们是通过修行啊，这个自我的这种修行的这种接受哈，还来实施的话，得到了学业上的突飞猛进。然后我们接下来呢会介绍一个很可爱的，
Now we want to share another one.
懵里懵懂的。也是学业得到了提升的这样的一个小朋友，我们来看一看来自于香港
From Hong Kong,
小师姐她的分享。
修焕。
Hello， 大家好，我是来自
Hello everyone, I'm from
今天我想分享一下
Hong Kong, 修焕。
对我的人生有什么的影响。
I want to share how meditation has impacted my life. Before P5, my result was very, very bad. My mom actually signed me up for many tuition classes, but not effective. I'm always the last few in class. My English is amazing bad. I even get 0 for my test, and I have to go for tuitions in my English. But at P5 level, my mom signed me up for the youth class. I practice energy bagua. I listen to master's teaching, and I also practice a wisdom practice. And after that, my results becomes better. I became the top 25. And even when I go to JC, I have very good results. It's pretty amazing. And after that, I joined the Bodhi Meditation Youth Camps. And remember once that Master came to the camp and teach us. And one time, someone asked Master about the choice of subjects. And the person likes science, but actually likes music. Master taught her to pick science because that's what she's good at. So for me, I get some inspirations because for me, I'm better at math and better it counts. Although personally, I like interior design, but I do not have such a good sense about the art side. But because of such master sharing, I pick something that I'm good at. And that is, so actually I am going to switch from the community universities, and I want to join Berkeley Business School. But to get to Berkeley Business School, it is very difficult to get in. So my mom knew I really wanted to go to Berkeley. So my mom did a lot for me. She did a lot of merits, built a lot of merits for me. She chanted a lot for me, and she even lit a Buddha lights for me. And I was very fortunate. And I got transferred from community college to Berkeley Business School. Not only that, I also benefit physically. When I first come to the States, I had very irregular menstruations. I only have twice in 7 months. So I told my mom. And my mom asked me to sit on the sofa, and she played Master's live broadcast. Master's blessing sessions. She let me listen for 30 minutes. And the second day, suddenly I have my menses back. I find that it's completely amazing. So after that, I become very lucky in my life. I want to thank my family, I want to thank Bodhi Meditation Center, and I want to thank Master. So that's my sharing. We watch her grow. When she joined, she was just P4 or P5, really young girl. And now she's in universities, and she's good universities. She joined 5 times the camp, the BMYC, and she shared that when she's young, Master shared a lot, teachings, but she kind of like listened and kind of understands from Masters. So as she grows, she gained a lot of insights and understanding, and she can apply to her life. So definitely, you learn is better than not learning. Actually, when you look at the students, not everyone can understand. I just hope that at that point in time, I just hope that because they listen, one day they will benefit from it. Yes, she shared. She didn't ask Master directly, but because Master answers other people's questions, she used that to reflect upon her own situations, and she picked something that she's good at, something that she's strong in, not pick something that she likes, but she has no benefits. I think she has good insights. So what she recognized is very important in her choice, in the making of choice. What you like and what you're strong is very different. You must pick something that you're good at. So she's now in UC Berkeley. That is a good school, one of the best schools. For her, she's very lucky. She made the good choice in every step of her life. I can actually understand her because she has been very lucky, because the Buddha's light has been illuminating her. She didn't have to work very hard. After P4, she had a chance to interact with Bodhi. Her results start to become better. She gained wisdom. And after that, she always participates in master class. Most importantly, the parents and the dad and the mom, they know how to accumulate merits for the child, so that the child will gain wisdom. So her whole family benefited. So that's something that I want to remind all parents. You want to be able to accumulate merits for your children. And when you accumulate more merits, it will translate into better outcomes for the child, for your children. If you look at her, she's a very open person. And she feels good. That's good feelings. Some child, it doesn't matter what is your family conditions. You always felt bad about it. You always feel the pain. You always feel the pressure. It has nothing to do with the family's financial condition. That is your heart. But she learned early. She started at P4. So she has very broad mind. Before she went to university, she went for BMYC and was very strong impressions. Masters asked all the kids, what if one day you don't go to universities? What should you do? Do you cry? Do you have a way out? Some kids would say that I will repeat and I'll continue and try to get to universities. And I remember her answer was very interesting. She said, it's okay. I have strength. I'm very strong and I can go and do some construction work. I'll be able to survive. And I remember that masters like her because of her answer, like her thinking, her thought process. It's about like, it's okay, we just restart again. Nothing, this person's heart is wide and vast. So they'll become the success in life. They'll have success in life. As the sun is up tomorrow, everything will be auspicious again. So we should learn from her. If you can have such a wife, your younger son can consider her. Yes, I quite like her. That's present for her. So something for you, a purple crystal for you, wishing you great success in the studies and have auspicious life.
所以我们刚才其实看了好几个见证哈，一些年轻人当他换了一个新环境的时候，不管是当兵啊，还像包括修换。
We have seen that a lot of time when they change an environment, it takes some time to adjust.
年轻人就是这方面的问题挺凸显的，就是当换一个新环境的时候啊，比如说咱们前一段时间那个大学。就是大学生哈，上不了学校去，只能在家里边网课。
We shared in the past that earlier a lot of university students, they can't go to school and they have to study at home. They have to study online. So it causes a lot of stress to them because they lack the social interactions, so they go through a lot of emotional stress. So masters, you have something to guide us in terms of when you move to a new environment, they are not able to adapt. So they result not only in physical problems, but psychological problems and self-doubts, and even the idea of giving up dreams. What should they do? Personally, I feel that if this is your life dreams, a life pursuit, please persist. Do not find other way out. No matter how tough or how difficult it is, how painful it is, you just persist. And that is probably your only way out. Like when the child is learning different skills, the parents want to push them forward, not letting them slack. Because if the child dreams is to be a president, whether the person can become a president, you're not sure because the chance is very slim. But to have that dream, to have that aspirations, you have to work towards that dreams. Well, if you cannot achieve to become a president, you may become a high-ranking governor. But if you don't even have this dream or aspiration, what would the child be? You will be a even more common or ordinary person. So you want to set a higher dreams, a higher targets. This is not like a form of being very lavish. No, it's not. Because you want to have a higher, you want to set yourself a higher level of aspirations. You need to do something. You want to push yourself to it. And because you have these dreams, you have these higher aspirations, when you do it, you will seek happiness. You will find happiness in it, in doing it. It is the same matter, but the form of emotional feelings that you get will be completely different. For me, when I set my mind on something, I never give up. I will persist. I think let's look at another sharings.
Hi, my name is Penny. After graduating from high school in 2020, I was lucky enough to be accepted into the pre-animation program of San Jose State University, one of the best animation programs in the United States. However, because of COVID, we could not attend classes in person. Online learning was extremely difficult for me. I felt like I was failing in all my classes, no matter how hard I tried. The program allowed us to see our peers work, which made me even more depressed. I felt like I was among the bottom half. I worked so hard day and night, but still could not catch up. I lost 15 pounds by mid-semester. My parents were worried about my health. They saw my struggle and suggested that I transfer to community college for a year or two and switch to a different major. I was crying inside because my dream of becoming an animator got crushed. However, I consented to their decision because I didn't want to waste their money by failing. By that time, not only did my parents lose faith in my ability to become an animator, I also lost faith in myself. We decided to drop out after winter break. For some reason, my mom decided to consult her best friend, Wendy Lee, about this decision before pulling me out. To my surprise, Auntie Wendy was extremely against this idea. She said she saw my potential as an animator and I should not give up on my dreams so easily. She introduced Grandmaster JinBodhi's teachings to us and started doing Shelly Bai with me over Zoom for 10 minutes every day. She said that's what the Grandmaster recommended. Soon I fell in love with Shelly Bai. I felt recharged and energized after each session. It gave me strength, talent, and creativity. My art skills improved in leaps and bounds day after day. In the end, I completed the semester with straight A's, including an A+. I was thrilled. My 10 minutes daily Shelly Bai with Auntie Wendy really paid off. I did Shelly Bai with Auntie Wendy every day for 8 months and have continued to practice on my own since then. It continues to help me with my mental and physical health. I feel smarter than ever. Last semester, I lived in the campus dorm and attended classes in person for the first time. I was very focused and continued doing well in school. It is very hard to get A's from animation classes, but I ended the semester with my animation project voted as one of the top 3 in the class, and I even received an award on stage. I'm not the only beneficiary from Bodhi meditation. My whole family benefited too. My mom loves the many courses by the Grandmaster. She especially benefited from the courses on parenting. Since the donation my mom made to support Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra, my family became luckier and more harmonious too. I got into the official animation program smoothly. My mom found a higher paying job that's very close to our house. My dad got converted to a permanent employee from a contractor, and my sister got accepted to UC Berkeley this year unexpectedly. We can't thank Grandmaster JinBodhi enough for his guidance and meditation methods. I am also thankful for Auntie Wendy for believing in me and saving me from dropping out of college.
哇，这个看了好开心呐！
I'm so happy to listen to her sharing.
这个孩子的分享让我觉得挺感动的。
对，对，
就是。
I'm so touched by her sharing. If you look at her before that, I think she felt depressed in the initial state, lack of confidence, because she felt very helpless. She didn't get very good results, and she couldn't see lights in the path to continue to pursue her dream. I think she went through extreme physical and mental stress. And if you look at her painting, everyone is so gray and dark. It seems like she's being trapped in the dungeons and unable to lift up. I'm sure that the parents also tried their best to help her, because as parents, all love their child. They want to make sure that the child have good health, at least that's the minimum. And that's why they try not to push the child. We can understand that, because there's very little that the kids can do. Maybe that's why they encourage her to switch to a community college that has less pressure and find something that she can look for a job when she graduates. And that's why she even thought of giving up from her animation course. And during this time, they met a Bodhi disciple, Wendy. Auntie Wendy is very clear that she should not give up. And she shared that she can see the future in the class. And there's only one method that Master teach, and that is prostrations, and just 10 minutes every day. And this Auntie Wendy of her practiced with this girl on a daily basis for 10 minutes through Zoom. And they did this for 8 months. And at this point in time, the kids changed. All of them, look at the painting, the pictures. It is full of brightness. And not only that, the results improve a lot. She gets all A's, eventually gets A's and even A+, and even won an award. It is very difficult to get A's in animations programs. So it's quite a miracle for her. And after 8 months of practice with Wendy, she persisted. And now she actually enjoys prostration because she benefits so much. Actually, I think the mom, she gave Masters a present because the mom got a good job and the father converted from a contract job to a permanent job, and the younger sisters got into Berkeley. So the whole family benefited from Bodhi meditations. So I think, Wendy, you have such great. I think you are like bodhisattvas. So that is what Master shared. Bodhi disciples must help people. And she actually delivers what she gained here. It is not easy for her to continue the practice for 8 months with the girl. I think she has a heart of a bodhisattva. I want to give a present for Wendy. I think she helps someone, and I full of admirations for her. There's a little bit of sapphire, and this is a prize for you. Thank you, Master. And for Penny, we also have a present for her. So this is for Penny. Wishing you health, happiness, and auspiciousness. So can you imagine? She's actually a very talented animator in making, but she almost have gave up her dreams, her career. So you need someone to recognize the talent. Master, I think that a lot of time the youngsters have this moment of doubts. So you really need people where, like, you will not be able to see beyond the blockage. Sometimes the parents may not have the ability to look far and wide. So I think if you have a chance, you should come and listen to our live broadcast, and maybe by listening to your live broadcast, you may benefit from it. I think it is also very important for parents to come and listen to Master's teachings. And that's because for Wendy, she followed Masters for so many years, and that's why she learns from Masters, and that's why she can contribute positively to Penny's talents development. So how can we help those youngsters when they are in self-doubts to bring them up, lift them up? I don't have a one solution fit all. Everyone is different. Every youngster is different. It also depends on their age group. How old is the young? What is the problems that the youth encounter? So I don't have a solution that will fit all, a standard solutions that fit all. Master, let me ask another question. This person is from Melbourne, and she shares that there are so many of them to be so lucky to benefit from Master's sharing. So for her, she lives in Melbourne herself and take care of herself. But she don't care much about anything and don't have a clear goal. And she feels like she don't have much feelings and she don't love others and don't really care about anyone. At times, she feels very confused. She knows to be filial to parents, but she don't know why the feelings for the parents are also very light. She just feels like she don't have much feelings. She feels like she has a lot of problems, but don't know where the problems are. So she wants to ask Masters for advice, how to find her goal and how to live a better life. What's her name? She didn't write her name, but that's her sharing. I think she's a little bit, she doesn't have much of her feelings, and she may be a bit tired. It must be got to do with the fact that she's overseas alone. Because when she goes overseas, she don't have that many friends. So she lacked the social interactions, she lacked the social love. So she feel a little bit numbed or apathetic. But although the parents gave her the money, but she felt very lonely and lost. She may even question why the parents let her go overseas by herself. And she has a lot of, so it's actually a lot of lost love. And that's why her mental state is very tired. Although she knows that she needs to be filial to the parents, but she didn't feel like very strong feelings towards her parents. Why? Because she lacked the parents close to her, the love of the parents close to her. But maybe the other reason could be because that she is more of a depressed personality. Some people are by birth. So some people are just depressed by birth, so they are generally their spirits is more dampened. Is that something that can be changed? Personally, I think that this is something that can be changed. So the chanting class, upcoming chanting class, is very suitable for a person like her. Maybe through that, she'll be able to find her happy self, a healthier self, and she can find the love, the lost love that the parents have for her. And once she change, she will feel very happy. Yes, July the 16th, Masters is going to start this class. So it is actually just 2.5 hours. So it is very suitable for those who are new to meditations or who are new to Grandmasters. So it is suitable for all age. It is just a 7 days class. I think a lot of people will gain a lot of benefits. So for this lady from Melbourne, this young girl from Melbourne, if she's okay with everything, she has no self-control. She will just eat, she can eat excessively because she has no life goal. For example, if there's a young man, and say, I want to look for a partner. Let's say before that, it is just a young man, he just eat a lot. And because he exercise a lot, so they eat a lot. But after that, if they say that my friends younger than me, I have a boyfriend or girlfriend, so let's say this boy is very fat, but because now his friends has a girlfriend and he wants to find a girlfriend, he decides that he needs to lose weight. And suddenly he will have motivations to lose weight. When he wants to have these motivations to lose weight, he will become more disciplined, slowly reduce the amount of food, and change the schedule, or even go for weightlifting, or even go jogging. Because when you have a goal, you will work towards your goal. But if a person has no goal, what happens? He may just eat excessively. So when you are a person like that, you have very few friends.
除非说，内心冷酷，外表还挺漂亮，很帅，这说不定有傻姑娘喜欢你，说不定有个大妈也喜欢你，对不对？
他没有，而且他也没有什么明确的目标。
他一旦处在这样的一种状态，
So when you are in that mental state, you have no friends, and you will feel emotional stress. And I also sense that your health is not very good, and this is also a type of mental
快乐、幸福、热情。在前头那
you will feel some mental pressure as well. So the difference is that if you have a goal, a life goal, you'll be motivated to do various things to reach your goal.
你必须见了我一定要弯腰行礼，请记住我是你的主人，你是我的奴隶，就是每个月给你同样的钱，你不幸福，你觉得你在惩罚我，所以让我干活，我很痛苦啊。你看大家在监狱干活不也干活吗？对不对？但是你感觉我是在监狱干活。 有几个人在监狱干活很幸福的？
Well, if you feel like you're in a prison, you're working in a prison, you think you can be happy?
为
No.
你老公干活，为你妈干活，你很幸福。
But if you work for your mom, work for your husband,
这个同样
you work for your loved
当你
ones,
心中有了这样
you
一个
feel very happy, although the work is probably the same.
幸福就产生了。
And that's that's how happiness is created.
墨尔本的这个小伙子哈，
So this person from
我
Melbourne,
找到名字了
Justin from Melbourne.
这名字也挺怪的哈，我是有点孤陋寡闻吧哈。对，那这个就是，我觉得 Justin 这个名字当中，你还有很多，当某种偏执突然产生，比如说我要跑步的时候，你半夜都出来跑步。
So I think from your name, your sense, my sense is that you lack some rational thinking. And you lack the love from your loved ones. Maybe because the parents, you are far from your parents, but you don't understand that the reason why your parents let you go overseas is so that you can have a better life in the future, but you do not feel it because you feel that you're far away from your loved ones. Because you have to be independent. You have to learn to rent your apartment. You have to learn to cook. You have to learn to deal with a lot of life issues. So for people who are not strong mentally, you will turn yourself into a person full of self-doubts. You feel very lonely and isolated. I think it's important for you to join one of my class, and maybe that will change your mindset. So do you think of it like if people don't love me, I don't love others? Do you think that's healthy? No, that is also a form of illness. That means that mentally you are going into is a little bit off.
对，咱们是年轻人嘛，咱们师姐就鼓励他减肥啊，就这样的，对。
对，所以当他的想法就能想象出他的身材，知道吗？
真的。
当往往就是人生看不到自己的一个希望的时候，一定会傻吃。
So when you not see any hope, you will start to eat excessively. Why? Because you want to use food to cover the loneliness. But the more that you eat, the more lonely you feel. So what you did is to feel love for your family. And also self-love is a form of self-love. Actually, self-love is a form of filial, to love your parents. Actually, your parents love you the same level. So you must have gratitude towards your parents. It's only when you can know it, internalize it, then you will change. To ensure that you have a very positive life, I don't want to talk, I want to be very direct with you. And I want to help you. So I want to be very direct with you. And I want to say that with you directly. You think about him. He refused to move when he eats. And there's a lot of accumulations at the joint, at the part of the legs. So they may have rheumatoids and even liver-related problems, or even kidney problems, or cold sweats. Or you may become addicted to online games and delay the learnings and sleeping disorder. Thank you, Master. I think there are a lot of other problems. Because from 1 year to 30 years, these are considered young people. So the young people face not only pressure from schools, you also face pressure to look for a life partner and look for a suitable job. Some young me says that I can't find jobs. What should I do? Because I miss studies, and when I study, I come out, I have difficult to get a permanent jobs. Or some who want to who want to become an entrepreneur, but they do not know which business to start. So there are also a lot of problems that they face. And for those who manage to find jobs, they have difficulties to work with their peers because there are a lot of office politics, and yet there's some more problems arises that. How do you deal with that? Or how do you deal with your supervisors who constantly giving you pressure or making it difficult for you at work? I have a lot of knowledge in this. If you have all these related problems, and I hope that you share with me about your background, your problems, your issues, and even take pictures of your photos, so that I will have a way to interact with you. I will be able to answer your questions directly. And maybe your one-time interaction with you, you will benefit you for your life. Actually, I love to share all this with the youngsters. So I want to have a chance to interact with you again. So next week, send me the questions, and I'll try to answer all your problems, all your questions. So please write to me. So let's set the date. I think how about we set next Saturday, the same day, the July the 2nd. So that's July 2nd, North American time. So for Asia will be July the 3rd. Eastern time will be, for Asia will be July the 3rd. If you have such questions, please write to me. If your question is like, Master, should I be in a relationship now? It's difficult for me to answer. How should I answer? Because it lacks a lot of background information. You must tell me your age and provide me with some background information so that I can better answer your questions and be direct to your questions. So you must share with me your overall problems, your mental states, what is your educational background, so that you can ask me any questions. There is a lot of values. It can provide you with good referencing. For those who have, in the past, we used to have Bodhi Meditation Youth Camp. Many people have benefited from the youth camp. We have some who actually went to becomes a doctor. There's someone in Toronto. She's doing medicine now. Li Xu is doing medicine now. She's a very pretty girl.
对，还有呢，其实讲到刚才就是师父指导 Justin 的这样的一种改变，就是要给自己设立一个目标，然后
I think, Masters, from your sharing just now with Justin, I think it's important to set a goal. Once you have a goal, you'll be able to work towards the goal. And
后面的那些事情哈，就是可能 Justin 现在就是真的就能做到吗？
Justin may question, is it possible to become disciplined? Yeah, let's share. Let's listen to another sharing from someone from LA, 贝慧。
他呢，从小是一个健康宝宝，从出生他就是那种。
She is a very healthy baby, and she was very fat when she was young. But as she grew up, one day she said to me, "Mom, I feel that I'm not cute anymore. I want to lose weight." That's about 2021. I think, how is it possible? I thought she can eat really well, and she loves to eat. And she's not picky and loves sweet stuff. So I was wondering how to lose weight. She can eat 24 of this. So I don't believe that she can have this self-control. How did Bei Hui manage to do it? Actually, at the beginning, it's because Dad and Mom asked me to watch live broadcasts. And during that time, Masters talk about sleeping and learning. I'm not sure why, when I suddenly have the inspirations. And that time I was really heavy. And I felt a bit difficult. And I start to tell Master I want to do it. And at that point in time, schools is starting. And Master says that you can do prostrations or chanting or energy bagua. So from then on, I wake up, I will do prostrations and chanting. And if I don't do it, I felt like it's incomplete. And the target is to slim down and become smarter. And during that time, she started to change her habits. She started to reduce her rice, her carbo, and she doesn't eat sweet stuff. And she changed her schedules and she became more disciplined. She started to cut all the sweets. And next, she needs to eat until she's very full. But subsequently, I see that she started to reduce her food. And in the past, she started to sleep at 10 instead of stay up late. And even now, she's very disciplined. She wakes up at 5 and she goes to bed at 9. So now is her life. She wakes up at 5 and she will go to our little meditation hall, chant for half an hour, and then after that she will do prostrations. And after prostration, she will look for a tree at the backyard to practice energy bagua. At 5, we are not awake yet, but she wakes up and completes her homework. Then she'll do her schoolwork. Because now they do online class, she chose a very early class as she needs to wake up and start the class at 7. So she has to wake up at 5 to complete her meditation practice. So she received A's. Not only that, she planned everything and learned everything herself. We didn't care on her. So I was thinking, this is really Masters and Buddha's and Bodhisattva's protection. This is such a good sharing. She benefited. by her own life. So actually, slimming is only a very simple thing. It is her discipline and become very focused. And she's a straight A student. Her whole schedule changed completely. I think she has gained wisdom. I mean, it is very common for young girls who love sweet stuff and love to eat. If you look at her, she looks completely different.
定立目标的时候不是那么高大哈，就是一颗很具体的一个小目标，但是他这么做了，尤其是为了实现这个目标。
But because she want to fulfill her targets, you will find that she will change her overall. It is beyond what she can even imagine. So once she becomes very disciplined, you may think that it's very easy, but they are very capable. Once you can become very disciplined, you will become very capable. You look at her, she's a straight A, and she wakes up at 5 every day. And the parents are not even awake, and she's already awake. Actually, I think the parents should learn from her. She can be a good. Looking at her, you know that the future, she'll be very successful because it doesn't matter what's her choice. Any life choice, once she has discipline, she has this internal drive, she'll be successful in what she do. She's very strong. She's very strong internally. So Justin, please, you can look at her and let her be your example. So if you want to change, it is very important to be very disciplined. Once you have that, the intent to change, you will have this, you will innate the power within, and you will propel yourself forward. From a weak, you will become a strong person. And from a slave, you will become a general. And as other one shares that this can be another wife, a good wife. She's very attractive because she's so disciplined. If she has such a mindset and she persists for 10 years, she can be he will have great success in Korea. So we hope that all children can listen to masters and learn from masters.
他自己来把握自己的这个人生，那这一条就是跟师父学到的。
这点他们学到了。
They learn that it's important for you to seize your future. A small change. If you look at her, she changed so much. Not only she get good results in her studies, she also managed to slim down. I have a present for her.
哎呀，都想找更贵重的礼物给你啊！眼前就这样吧，啊。好，送给这个贝慧小朋友哈。
This is for 贝慧。
小宝石手链哈，哎。
A semi-precious stones bracelet, wishing you spaciousness and happiness, and you have success in your studies.
哎，这孩子太棒了。
真的，我们真高兴啊！
不要觉得小孩听不懂那个道理，都听得懂。
Actually, I always thought that kids don't understand when I talk, when I teach, but actually, they do.
飞黄腾达了，啊，就是这样。那我们前面接触的，我们看那个 青年夏令营哈，有些孩子调皮的，你要开课了，哄都哄不进来，就在外面打游戏，啊，甚至骂街，啊，甚至喝酒。那么5天以后呢？
When we have the youth camps before the class, we have many difficult children. They refuse to come to the camp. Some were playing games, indulge in the games. Some refused to enter the hall. But after 5 days, completely changed. We do not punish them. When you join the class, you do whatever you like. But all of them are very good.
就是看到这些孩子的成长和变化，我就感觉就好像看到自己的孩子的进步一样，很开心。
When I see these children, it's like I see my own children. Very happy to see them grow.
哎呀，师父真是教导了这些年轻人，他们真的是提升的太快了。
Master, they benefited so much.
有些青年人记住一句话哈，就是我的人生。
I want you to remember this. You create your own future. You must make yourself stronger, more independent, so that you have the ability to make a living not only for yourself but for your parents. When you expand this broader, you can even benefit the society. Can you do it? Yes. Many of you can do it. There are so many examples, many of the testimonial that we shared. They don't even have a very big dreams. If they have a bigger dreams, the results will be amazing. When I was young, I did not share my aspirations with people or even peers because they will find that it's not unbelievable. But if you feel that your aspiration is right, you should go for it. Well, at least if you tried and you failed, at least you tried. For me, if I set my target, if I set my goal, I will work towards it. Well, especially for girls, you do not want to have aspiration to marry a rich man. No, because these are all very dangerous. I know of many, because of the young, they may be very beautiful at young, but they lack other type of attributes. The outcome is very tragic. So if the youth listen to my teachings, they'll be able to attain success beyond their parents' success. If you feel like you are stupid or you are a fool, you're welcome, most welcome to come and learn from me. Now it's graduation seasons. A lot of people, after they graduate, they can't find a job. Yes, indeed. In this modern economy, a lot of time, the moment that you graduate, you lose a job because you can't find a job, especially during the pandemic. There are many people who graduated in the last 2 years because of the pandemic. They were not able to look for a job. If you want to have a better career, you're most welcome to visit my channel. You may not become rich, you may not become famous, but maybe, possibly, you will have a better life compared to your peers. You find that the contribution that you make to the society way beyond all your peers. And I believe that in my ability to teach, to nurture. If you are really very good and you can't seek your own path, please go ahead. But if you hit some roadblocks, you are more than happy to come to write to me. 不想虚度 @gmail.com. 不想虚度 in English it means that you want to lead a fruitful life. I think that's pretty much the content for today's live broadcast. Many of our internet friends are full of thanks and full of gratitude towards Masters. So I just want to share that next week we will share a special remedy. A special remedy? A special remedy for a very acute disease. The money you paid is just cabbage. Pay for cabbage, the price of cabbage. So it is a special recipe. So next Friday, towards the end, or maybe at the beginning, depends on my mental state of that day, I will share with you. And if you have needs, please come and listen to our live broadcast. And you're most welcome to bring friends who have some physical problems to come. So next Saturday, we'll talk about the youth problems. So that will be part 2. It's focusing on the youth. So we focus on the problems faced by the youth, so there'll be not testimonial. So you know next Friday and next Saturday's the broad topics that we'll discuss in the next weekend's live broadcast. If you like our live broadcast and you feel that's beneficial and benefits you, please remember to share. What should you do? Yes, you should subscribe and you should leave us a message. And remember to download 禅师 APP 禅师 apps.
聊天这个嘛，那个通话的这个模式嘛，聊天的这个模式哈，你先关掉它，然后才能看到哈，这个直播下面有一个竖起大拇指的这个标志嘛，那个就是点赞，来赶紧点一下。
Remember to like and share and subscribe to the videos. Many people have forgotten about this. Because masters have so many great sharings. So that as you share, more can benefit from it. I hope that the contents that we have will benefit all with karmic connections. It will benefit you, and then we'll focus on the problems. That's what our task. So if you remember to subscribe, and remember to share. And remember to subscribe to 禅师 apps. So wishing all health, longevities, and auspiciousness. See you next week.
Yo 在。